Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to Comic Book Club Live. Please give it up for your hosts, Alex, Justin, and Pete.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I am Pete.
And that's our man of the booth, Boothman Prime.
Boothman Prime.
And folks, this is very exciting.
Oh, man, this is wild.
Yeah. Are you yawning?
I just woke up. It's earlier.
Oh, okay.
So early.
Woo. That's crazy.
Oh,
It's really
what's
sunny.
We are doing our show for the first time at 7 o'clock in the new year. We've been
Yeah.
running at 8 o'clock for the past couple of years now.
Feels like a long time.
Yeah.
Hey.
How are you feeling, Pete? How are you holding
Well,
up?
I just want to say, Justin, cool hoodie you got, bro.
Thanks, dude. Cool to you.
Yeah, thanks, bro. What's up?
Yeah. I also have Comic Book Club stuff on.
No, you don't.
Just so you know, Alex and I are.
Oh,
look
wait.
at this.
What is happening?
Alex,
What's happening in the middle here?
that was. We've done enough of you opening presents on this podcast. Just so we'll cut to the chase. Alex got a gift from some of our very
is this
favorite audience
also a
members.
hoodie?
And it's another hoodie, so we can all. You got a T-shirt. It looks like
No, it's a sweatshirt.
sweatshirt.
Oh.
Because they know I love to work out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This is great. Thank you so
Plus,
much.
it's cold in here.
Should I put it on as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's
okay.
take some time. You have
That
your-
way, the
I'll
picture
Take,
at the end, we'll all be wearing.
and as you know, when we get dressed, we all take our belts off first, and then we get right into.
Don't bring that back.
Nice.
That was fucking weird.
Whoa, you're going to be talk about sweatshirt. Alex is putting it over his sweater.
Yeah, you rock a sweatshirt over a sweater. Why would you take your sweater off, you psychopath?
Because see these shirt tails over here?
Yep.
That's all that's going on with that
Shirt tails.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's just shirt tails kind of loosely hanging on the inside of a sweater. That's
You have
it.
a mock shirt.
I don't like wearing shirts. It makes my body feel weird.
Cool. Your body's not going to feel weird with 3 layers on
It's
under
fine.
these
I
hot
can't
lights.
imagine how it would get hot on stage.
You look like you're ready to go to the gym.
yeah. Do you want to work out later,
Yeah,
bro?
let's go. Let's go for a quick
Yeah,
jog.
now that the show's at 7, we have so much time afterwards.
So
we can
much
just
time.
Go work out.
Yeah, what are you squatting these days?
5.
That checks out.
Yeah, checks out.
You know what also checks out is one of our favorite guests on the show. He is the co-host of Earth's Mightiest Show on Marvel.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Langston Belton!
Langston
Hey,
Belton.
welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back,
Whoa.
sir.
Isn't it funny? I said, let's
Absolutely.
take our belts off, and then we had Langston Belt on.
What?
Whoa.
Why are you guys taking your belts off out here? What's going on?
When we put clothes on, we have to take an item of clothing off.
Yeah, it's
That's
we
kinda
have a
the-
one-on, one-off policy.
Do
In
I
fact,
have?
Alex
Do I have
got dressed up, so we have to strip down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. You, Pete, you and Justin sit next to each other.
Why?
Because I feel like you're going to break into a fist fight at some point.
Have you ever been to our show before? We always sit next to each other, and we also almost always break into a
But
fist
this is
fight.
so close. It's so close. You're like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me. I love always love coming back.
As you know, we always wear comic book club logo stuff all together.
Exactly. That's called branding. 2020, the year we finally figured it out.
Langston, always a pleasure to have you here on the show. Of course, lots of big stuff going on in the world of Marvel coming up in 2020. What's new? What are you excited about? What's going on with Earth's Mightiest Show? I don't know why I keep missing the H there.
It's Earth's. It's such a weird. If you got a Earth's might, it's not. You know.
Can I
it's-
say it? Will Smith and Independence Day
Yeah,
style?
Earth's Mightiest Show. Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. We'll accept that.
Okay.
No, it's fun. It's of course Lorraine Sink, Ryan Panagos, aka Agent M, and myself, and it's been really cool. We've kind of retooled the show a little bit in terms of the content we're putting out. We're doing. We actually just put out a really fun video. We asked people like on Twitter and social media about what they would like to know about the Marvel Universe, either currently or like posting fun nerd arguments, and the three of us will like break it down. In addition to like doing like a video series we have called You Don't Know, where we talk about a character that you may not be aware of and talk about like that character's history in a fun way. So it's really cool kind of being this gateway for some fans who of course love the films.
So-
and again the comics.
So people who might be watching the Black Widow trailer and being like, who's that dude in the weird outfit? And you're like,
Taskmaster,
what you
yeah.
don't know is that's Taskmaster.
I actually might be I think might be writing it. You don't know Taskmaster, hopefully to do one because
I know you're a big Taskmaster.
Huge fan of Taskmaster. Very excited to see him in hopefully or or hopefully be done. Maybe the character could be in the movie for 15 seconds, and I'll be like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. So I'm excited to see this character.
What a crazy world we live in right now where Taskmaster is going to be in a movie and Morbius is getting its own standalone
Well, hold on.
movie.
Can we talk about the Taskmaster thing for a second? Can I talk about a weird thing Pete did right before the show?
I always love weird things Pete does right before the show.
Marvel released this special look at Black Widow this morning. I think it was this morning, right?
I believe so.
It was during the college game last night, too. I wasn't watching the college game. I was watching the college game to see the featurette from Marvel Studios.
Yeah,
Like all true college football fans.
Yeah. Oh, college football. I knew what game it was. It's
You were at the gym watching that, right?
Yeah, I was at the gym. I was watching the college football.
I think it was college university versus university
High.
college university
State.
University High.
University State.
University State.
So minute and a half long clip. With some footage that we've seen before, but also some new footage for Black Widow. But again, I want to emphasize 90 seconds long, right?
100%.
But there's a bunch of stuff going on there. Pete wanted to talk about it. He emailed us when we were like, hey, we're going to talk about some stuff on our Week in Geek podcast. We do that for the Patreon members. And he was like, I really want to talk about Taskmaster was in the Black Widow thing. And I was like, oh, great. Got here to the show. Pete was here. Flipped it open. I was like, oh, I haven't watched this yet. Let's watch this. And he's like, yeah, we got to talk about Taskmaster. And I was like, okay, press play. And he's like, skip to the end. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's 90 seconds
We don't
long.
have
We haven't
time.
watched it yet.
We
He's
don't
like,
have time.
no, we don't have time for that. Just skip to the end. Go look at Taskmaster.
You hit like the 4 10-second gimmick on that. You're done with the video.
Right. It's not that long of a video. And also, we do a comic book show, and it's helpful to watch the other 89 seconds of the clip.
I only read the last 2 pages of every comic. It's where the stuff happens.
Saves time.
It's where the stuff happens.
I guess I'm going to have to post this to Am I the Asshole later.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
You just get the twists.
That's all I want. I want to suck the marrow from life, and I also only eat the marrow of meat.
Yikes. The marrow of meat. Oh, boy.
It's really, I'm very hungry a lot, and it's very hard to get to.
Anyway, we
whole
did
steaks.
watch the whole 90 seconds of the clip, and the only thing Pete cared about was the last seconds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So Pete was right.
Pete was right.
He wasted 89 seconds of his life. It's diminishing quickly.
Luckily, we didn't spend another 90 seconds talking about it.
Yeah, and then you kept bringing it up on every podcast we do, which is cool.
Live life at 90 seconds a time. That's what they say.
And I should mention
Vin Diesel,
Pete-
yes.
Yeah, Vin Diesel, I think he said that.
Bloodshot trailer out today as well.
Yeah?
Vin Diesel.
Can I
tie-in.
ask, are 1 to 3 of you going to go see Bloodshot?
What?
Did you just call it blood shit?
Bloodshot. I mean, listen, maybe. It looks,
It looks cool.
I'll tell you what, between Bloodshot and Morbius, Sony really is making some movies.
passion projects.
Yes.
I love the fact that Vin Diesel was like, we're making Bloodshot. I don't care. Like, he probably showed up to someone's house and was like, you're in Bloodshot. It's like, but my kids, it's like, you're in Bloodshot. Paint me. I'm Bloodshot.
I do feel like both of these movies, not just because of the time they come from, but also the tone of both movies is like, we're bringing the 90s back. Here you go. You remember when comic book movies were kind of embarrassing?
Great. I also feel like it's now celebrities are like, fuck, I didn't get my piece of this superhero pie. Where can I leave my mark? Okay, I'm...
what do we got left over?
I'm Bebop.
Morbius? I'm Rocksteady.
I want a Bebop movie.
I'm Timothy Chalamet, and I'm playing Bebop.
Exactly.
Holy
And it's like,
smokes.
okay, the Bebop movie is going to be great.
Yeah.
Chalamet is Bebop.
I would see a Bebop and Rocksteady
Bebop.
movie. Yeah.
Are we Bebop? Are we talking about Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah, of course.
So it's Timothy
Always.
Chalamet and who else?
Oh, who's the Rocksteady to Chalamet's
Who's
Bebop?
It has to be someone equally young.
Saoirse
and,
Ronan.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
I was thinking Saoirse Ronan could be a whole Lady Bird Little Women reunion.
Oh,
Get
no,
Greta
She's
Gerwig.
Shredder for some real controversy.
Shredder?
No, Scarlett Johansson will play Shredder. Will play
She can play everything.
Bloodshot feels a little different to me. It feels a little different just because Vin Diesel has been trying so hard to do franchises for so long. Like, I don't think you could necessarily call Guardians of the Galaxy a Vin Diesel franchise, right?
Sure, you could.
Only Vin Diesel calls
But
it that.
Fast and the Furious, like he got that, but it sort of got away from him at the same time. It feels like, and he had that whole.
What are you talking about? Got away from him.
When
He
you
made
in-
8 of them.
But when you
made 8
invite,
of them.
He's out, though.
when you invite the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment to be in your film, you're going to get overshadowed. When The Rock showed up in those movies, I was like, Vin who? What? The Rock's in these movies. And Vin Diesel coming out and being like, you're not going to catch me. I go, it's The Rock. Of course, he wouldn't get his hands on you, but, you know.
He's going to pulverize you.
But
You're going to be a
they're-
bloody puddle.
You hear
at
about the
end of this.
contract stuff about them not being able to look weak?
Yeah.
They have to
Yeah.
get their
Oh, yeah.
hits back in, which is the reason why certain third acts of certain movies fall apart because no one's winning a fight. No one's losing the fight. No one's winning the fight. And they go, we got to work together. And we won. I go, who was what?
Yeah. Well, eventually the cars are going to unionize. They're going to be like,
Oh,
no,
my
we
goodness.
want to win.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
it's going to be,
Do the
who's going to
Do
who's
the
gonna
cars
lose?
drive them? Do the
Exactly.
car- the
Now
cars-
that's the movie I want to see.
A car jumps inside of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And it's and that and
Did
they
you see Hobbs and Shaw though? They
I did
basically
see
turn
Hobbs and
into
Shaw.
cars.
boy.
Idris Elba is a car in that movie. He's a human car.
He's a super soldier. Boy.
Wow.
I can
put a
talk.
car
We can do a
inside
whole.
of
Can y'all do a podcast just about Hobbs and Shaw?
Absolutely.
So I can just be on and go, what happened?
Yeah.
Man, I love that movie.
That was a
But my point about
slam
Vin
dunk,
Diesel
yes.
is he tried to do Chronicles of Riddick. He was like, this is my thing. I'm Riddick from
Very
now
damn
until the
fine
end of
movie.
time.
Very cool. Well, yeah.
And he made 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
The
Wait.
first one is Dark.
No, he made
Pitch
Pitch Black and then made 2 Chronicles of Riddick movies when everyone was like, yeah, Riddick's a pretty cool character. And he was like, it's been a universe the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Smart. And he got Dench to jump in hardcore, and she's a great Rocksteady candidate, just by the way.
But that obviously didn't work out. The whole Riddick thing didn't work out. So it
I
feels
mean-
it didn't work out.
Do you know what the what's
Whose
the scale?
favorite, whose favorite movie is Chronicles of Riddick?
Maybe no one, but it's a movie.
It's on my list. It's top sci-fi movies.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick?
Because it's for me, it is taking a character that is dumb. He sandblasted his eyes, and you can see in the dark on this dark planet, pitch black. Go see it in theaters. I was like, this is silly, but it was fun. And then in Chronicles of Riddick, it showed how small this character is in the universe, but it also kind of yes-anded improv. Yes-anded the notion of like, I love action heroes. Like, how could it be all about this one person? Also, his full name is Richard B. Riddick, and Riddick is short for ridiculous.
I think that's a statement.
That might be in canon. It's Richard B. Ridiculous.
I buy that. I think the mistake there was calling it Chronicles.
I hate.
Because it should be like the stuff Riddick is doing. Chronicles is a little lofty.
Chronicles
is what I'm saying.
Chronicles is a death sentence for any property that it adorns.
I also don't think it should have been Chronicles of Riddick. Like, giving it his name doesn't make any sense. It's not like he's John Star Wars, is the main character of Star Wars.
Yes, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yes.
Star Wars.
So, anyway, my point being, though, Riddick didn't quite work out. So I think Bloodshot is his next thing where he's like, this is it, Bloodshot. Everybody's going to be into Bloodshot. Let's go.
But like honestly, if you aren't a comic book fan, or you're a Vin Diesel fan, you're like, Vin Diesel's a movie called Bloodshot? Yeah, I'm going to see that. Like, it's right there. It's a cool name. It's a cool thing. He's like indestructible.
I love the Bloodshot comic books. I think they're great. Like the stuff that Tim Seeley is doing right now, we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Super fun action movie. This may be a super fun action movie, but it's still weird to me when they get to calling his character Bloodshot because he's like, I was out late. And my eyes are all bloodshot. That's the only thing that I think of when I see the title of that
Is
movie.
that what happens in the trailer?
No, he doesn't say that.
Oh man, I really was
And
like, now I got to see this movie. And he goes like,
I don't
and he
think
walks in the room and he's like, oh, tough night last night.
Yeah.
My eyes.
The movie's not about him needing Visine. It's not like it's not like he's in a dry
That would
hotel
have been
room.
a great movie.
He's got real dry skin, so it just gets pale. It's like, we gotta get this man some eye. That's also Vin Diesel. We gotta get this man some eye. He's also playing the general that makes him. He's Bloodshot, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope so. I hope so.
He's Bloodshot.
No, he made The Rock Bloodshot. He fucked up again. He fucked up again.
Oh, shit. Guy Pearce, though. Guy Pearce is the guy who turns him into Bloodshot.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Guy Pearce is the guy who turns him
him.
into Bloodshot. I don't know why Guy Pearce keeps focusing on this. This is like the 14th role he's done this in, but there's dialogue in the trailer where he's like, it's all about messing with time and memory. He did, oh my God, what's it called? Memento.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that was good. Got to keep doing that for the rest of my
That's
career.
his gimmick. Wait, what is he saying? What is he talking about?
He's talking about, because the whole thing with Bloodshot is they implant these memories. They're like, this is the bad general that killed your wife. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go kill that general. And then he kills that general, and then they shut him down, and they reboot his memory. They're like, no, here's your other wife that this other guy killed, and then sent him there.
So they just ate the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit of I was going to say Quantum Leap, but that's not true.
That would be.
I just thought about Quantum Leap, Brandon.
I was thinking
okay.
Wall-E. It's a little bit of
Yes.
Wall-E.
Yeah. But it's
Wally? Because he stuffs garbage into his
Dollhouse?
tummy?
That's a good call.
Wally? Why did you say Wally?
Because
Manchurian
that little
Candidate, that's what it
cockroach
was.
is indestructible, you know? And he's kind of like that cockroach.
Okay.
Wow. How does your brain work? How does your brain work?
I don't know.
Lateral thinking.
Sure.
Yeah, you may have the Bloodshot thing, and your enemy may be making sense. Wait, you don't. So you're like, that's not cool. Oh, you're saying Guy Pearce does too many.
I'm just saying,
You think Guy Pearce has Memento's disease?
or something, because he keeps doing movies that are about memory and playing with time constantly. He did The Time Machine. Is what I had better examples.
I look forward to reading this.
I was not prepared for this discussion.
I look forward to reading your senior thesis.
What is going on?
I'll tell you what. I think you sound a lot like Pete.
Wow.
This earlier time period is fucking with my mind. That's all that's going on.
Time.
It's daylight savings.
Let's get back to talk about Earth's Mightiest Show just for 1 second. Give a little preview of 2020. What's coming up this year for you?
In 2020, we're just I think the really cool thing is that what we're trying to be is kind of a platform for Marvel fans who are already Marvel comic book and cinematic universe fans to further their fandom and hear like thoughtful discussion from people who are not only, hosts and people who are speaking for the company in terms of entertainment wise, but also who are fans and who are legitimately jazzed to talk about Taskmaster. That makes no sense. And it's also fun. I think in the coming year, it's more personality of Ryan, Lorraine, and myself. A lot of Cyclops bits.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh,
About
Pete,
time.
Pete, I want this run. Nat Townsend.
Yeah.
He wanted me to tell you Cyclops rules. He just wanted me to tell you that. He messaged me and he was like, "Yo, tell Pete that." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't want." I was like, "When should I tell Pete?" I was like, "On his fucking podcast."
On his own show.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're getting trolled.
Well, you tell Nat to go fuck himself.
Whoa!
Wow.
Let's bring
I
him
feel-
out.
I owe that guy a punch in the face anyway.
Stomach.
I love
stomach,
booking
stomach.
a feud between you and Nat Townsend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
culminating in a fist fight.
Yeah.
Live on Combo Club. I'm going to get that trending. Right? Y'all want to see a
Yeah,
fist
let's see it happen.
Yeah.
Let's see it happen.
And don't worry, for those of you just listening at home, we'll mic up their fists to make sure that we capture every heartbreaking moment.
Not for nothing, and nothing against you, Pete, but man, I don't think either of you are going to be good fighters.
Yeah. It'll be just what you expect. Two nerds fighting.
Check out Earth's Mightiest Show on Marvel.com, and we're going to move on with our next section, which we like to call the Stack.
Yes. We love it.
Woo, woo. In the Stack, we're going to talk about a couple of books that came out this week. Kick it off with Immortal Hulk, number 29 from Marvel Comics.
Yes.
The Hulk is immortal. He's living forever, and that's what I know about the book. Take it away, guys.
The monsters in this are really amazing and like creepy. The fear factor that they keep ramping up in this book is fantastic. There's like a really amazing double-page spread, and also I love the way the Hulk is being kind of drawn right now. It's kind of like old school Hulk, and it just they really are taking some creative swings with this book, and it's really fun to see Hulk like this. I also can't wait for Hulk to get back to where it was, but I also it's tough because part of me is just really like enjoying the creative liberties they're taking with the Hulk right now, and another part of me is like, yeah, but when do I get my Hulk back?
Wow,
interesting.
Yeah.
Your Hulk. Who's your Hulk?
Yeah, who's your Hulk?
Yeah, who's your swooshy
Who's
little
your
Hulk?
Who's your little Hulk?
I don't. What does that mean?
Who's your Hulk? Who's your Hulk?
Yeah, who's your
Everyone has a
swooshy?
special little Hulk in their heart.
I guess my Hulk is Planet Hulk with Greg Pak.
God.
See, they already did that.
Here we
though.
go.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You asked me a question, I answered it.
So you're going to be like, I want to go back and date my high school girlfriend. I want to go back to that Hulk in the past.
Yeah.
When it's time, maybe
I
you
just
move
want to
on.
live in the past, man.
There's other Hulks in the sea.
If I could offer up the little Hulk in my heart is cholesterol.
Oh, man.
You can't beat that Hulk.
Yeah, that Hulk is the strongest one there is.
It's tough to win eventually, I think.
I do love the horror element. This is one of my favorite books right now because I do love the horror element of the Hulk. And for me, I feel like, the crux of the Hulk, like if Bruce Banner gets angry, now the Hulk comes out. And it's like, that's great and that's cool. But I love the idea of Bruce Banner being like a hostage to the Hulk, like when it's nighttime, like he says that's his time. You know, it's like the idea of the Hulk is kind of like this guardian of all like the gamma related beings, and kind of like making it more of a supernatural book than just a general like guy hitchhiking, and hopefully no one pisses him off. Like that is fun, but I do like the idea that like the monster and like the physical horror in this book is great. There's an instance where the Hulk is separated into jars, and it's so horrifying, but then pays off. Like this is a Hulk also that I love that is more malevolent and intelligent. So there's been some real messed up like petty revenges that this Hulk has done, but I like that. I think for me that makes the Hulk more interesting, showing him as a monster, not just like physically, like rip you in half, stuff like that, but also like a horror, he has machinations and he has plans, and I love when he's with Hawkeye, and of course Hawkeye shot Bruce Banner in the head with his arrow, and he was like take me to jail, and then Hulk is like just don't ever be alone with me. And if the Hulk ever says that to you, if you know that somewhere in the world the Hulk is thinking of you going like, you should kill that guy, it's like you're not going to stop him. So and poor Hawkeye's like, man, I got these arrows. Okay, who else? What else I got? Nope, can't beat the Hulk. Yep, okay, nope. That's me if he decides to like eat me, which he also has done in this book.
He'll eat it, dude.
He's consumed people.
Now, the thing that I think is great about this is you have this horror setup, and the art is still absolutely horrifying for all the creations, but they've twisted the storytelling in such a way that the Hulk has now become almost a folk hero of the 99%, fighting against Dario Agar, who is now a Minotaur full-time. He's representing the 1%. What?
Part-time man, full-time Minotaur. That's my dream.
That's your dream.
Someday, buddy. Someday you'll get there.
Full-time Minotaur.
I love
I've been
how they twisted
interning
the
as a
story.
Minotaur, and it's just not the same. I'm hoping to go full-time.
You would think that this is a new team coming on this book with the direction the story is going, but it still feels connected to everything that happened in the first 25 issues.
Yeah, it's wild because when this first came, the first few issues of this run were sort of like one-off horror stories featuring the Hulk. And the Hulk was sort of the beast you weren't ever in his head. And it's like totally flipped. It's less horror. This is all about it's sort of like a anti-corporation comic getting into a little bit of like cultural commentary, politics. And the Hulk, it's a psychological thriller as opposed to horror. There's like very little actual horror in this. It's just the Hulk being like, what am I? Betty being like, what am I? And everybody sort of trying to figure it out. And it's still amazing.
Great book. Definitely pick that up. Moving on to X-Force number 5, also from Marvel Comics. Pass that over here.
Yeah.
Justin, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, sure. So we've been talking a lot about the X-Men books, this, and talking about how they have been going pretty crazy at all times, nonstop.
It's all insane.
It's like they throw a bunch of ideas into a big bucket, and they're like,
You're like, what if the islands they're on are attracted to each other? Like, what is happening right now?
That's great. I love that. And
have you ever been on vacation, Pete? Because islands fuck all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my Lord.
That's how you get smaller islands.
That's what the show Temptation Island Island is about. Is like, are the contestants going to fuck that island?
Explain Virgin Islands, then, asshole.
Oh, they've never been fucked.
Wow.
Yeah, what is there to explain?
They're waiting to be married. These books have been crazy. This is pushing it all further down the line. Wolverine's torn in half. He's
Yeah,
like
that's
all
fucked
ripped
up.
up.
That's a shitty way to start a comic, man.
What, Wolverine in pieces?
Yeah.
But isn't that, do you love that about Wolverine? The fact that nothing can stop him, right? You love the fact like Wolverine, no legs, still as lethal as ever.
Yeah, sure.
I
but
hate it because he tried to ruin a man's marriage, but it's fine.
Wow.
Don't
Are you
get all
talking
fucking
about
Cyclops on me, dog?
Are you talking about Cyclops and Jean, or are you talking about like a personal?
Oh no, I'm sure there's many marriages he's probably ruined. Maybe
Don't
might
put
be-
that on Wolverine. You don't fucking know that.
He's killed a lot of people.
He's broken
Some
up a lot
woman,
of
Maybe he's helped.
Some poor
Maybe he's
woman-
helped more than he's hurt.
Some
You don't know that.
Some man, woman,
Maybe
or
it was a horrible
non-gender
relationship.
specific person,
and the fact that
non-binary.
he killed that husband was great for that marriage.
Ma'am, we're very, very
Husband.
sorry.
It wasn't great for the marriage.
Sir, madam, person, we're very, very sorry. Your partner has been murdered, and the person, of course, with tears in their eyes, is like, "What happened?" And they're like, well, "We found them with 3 stab wounds, about an inch apart from each other." Almost as if done by. They look at the screen. The Wolverine.
They're calling it the adamantium divorce.
And probably that person would be like, "Oh, thanks, Wolverine."
How dare you? How dare you?
Good.
Call
behind that
1-800
person goes-
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Behind them comes, "Hi, my name's Scott Summers. Don't let Wolverine
Don't let Wolverine happen to you.
No, I do love. To be fair, this is the Wolverine that I love. Like Wolverine should be a little bit terrifying because it's like
Oh, I thought you were like, this is the Wolverine I love. He should be separated from his legs.
Yeah. Why are we
that
Wolverine?
too. No,
He
but
doesn't need legs.
No, but
There's no claws coming
just
out of those
the
legs.
just the image of like Wolverine grinning and stabbing a dude while he's a torso. That is the reason why, like in a bar somewhere, 2 henchmen are like, "Man, don't fucking deal Wolverine, man." Like,
Yeah.
I once saw the dude in half, and someone's like, "Bullshit." Like, it's like, "Nah, dude, I saw it. He was in half, and he killed my best friend, and I had to go tell his wife that, hey, yet another. Stop.
Just talk about what's in the comic. Don't fucking spin out.
Similar to Immortal Hulk, what I think X-Force is doing is it's dealing with the body horror aspects of what's going on in the X-Men universe right now. Like they're being cloned out of eggs and growing out of things.
So
and
fucking weird.
it's very weird, and I appreciate
love
the
it.
fact that we have titles like this that are like, yeah, this is fucking weird. This is weird stuff that's happening. Forge is wearing armor that's made out of organics. There's these people that are reavers made out of organic weapons. It's gross.
Tom Cassidy can just be like any plant anywhere, and it's sort of
Great
gross.
power.
Yeah,
Fucking wake me up when we
power,
get the X-Men
Great
back.
responsibility. What I like, what I want though in this run of comics is I want a palate cleanser book where it's just some X-Men doing regular stuff, doing
like
paperwork,
playing beach volleyball or something.
beach volleyball.
Yeah, but
that's
the
what we want.
volleyballs are like made out of giant pollen.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
No, the volleyballs are the eggs that eventually become friends.
Oh wow!
Imagine if you spiked a volleyball and a friend came out of it.
Yikes.
It's like, oh shit, Wolverine's back.
I'll tell you what, I would like X-Men a lot better if it was called Egg Friends.
That's
That would
funny.
be a fun name.
Bump set Cypher.
Let's move on to our last title, Black Cat, number 8, also
Yes.
from Marvel Comics. Justin, take us away.
Let's turn to sports with Justin. Thank you, news anchor. I like this book a lot. I think this book is super fun. It's written by Jed McKay, and it's very different from so many other comics. It's a really character exploration of Black Cat. She's on her own. This is she's with her mom a lot in this issue, while also going on a heist with Beetle. And it's just
It had one of the a great last page reveal that made me go, oh shit! It was I think the art's amazing. This is a great take on Black Cat. I think this is a fun book, and the writer's doing a great job.
That's what I'm saying. And if you just read the last page of a book, then it's like it's all
I did
reveals.
just that. No, that's not true. No, I'm just going. I've actually read this issue very, very recently. I love any book that does conversations while characters are doing what they're supposed to. Like, they're doing this heist, but they're talking about, like, Black Cat standing as a Spider-Man villain, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not." It's like, well, I mean, you are. It's complicated, but you are a Spider-Man villain. So I always love when characters talk like people, and it's like you would say to someone, it's like, so what was it like, dealing with Doc Ock? And it's like, oh, he's a bit of a jackbag. All right, and like I love stuff like that. I love like human moments between these characters dealing with crazy circumstances. And Black Cat, I think, is great because she has both those worlds of like trying to be a normal, like being a cool gal about town, and hanging out with her mom, which is awesome, but also being like world class thief with a mask that does not hide her identity.
Iron Fist is in this, and he's fun and funny. Like the whole
Does
thing.
he talk about how his series got canceled?
He does talk about that a lot.
Oh God!
But he actually says I got the series. He like takes ownership.
Oh, nice.
Of it, which
Nice
is
to
cool.
see him step
He
up.
doesn't blame it on the larger corporate content movement. He's very much like I should have been.
He didn't talk about Disney starting its own streaming service and then
Right.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't touch on that too much.
Yeah.
What you
It's
can't
between
see
the
is that
battles.
Pete is glowing right now with red energy, just seething, and the room has gotten 10 degrees warmer.
Yeah, he has an iron fist, and Pete has an iron all of it. So it's all glowing.
Iron everything?
Iron everything. I truly can't recommend this book enough. Very fun, very good.
Thanks so much, Justin. Now over to Boothman with the weather.
Boothman Prime.
Yeah.
It's kind of rainy right now.
There you go.
That's my kind of weather report, though.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't need like numbers and
Yeah.
cold fronts. It's like outside right
I
now.
hate
tell me what's
temperatures.
happening.
Temperatures are for
Yeah.
sucks.
It's kind of cold. I know how to dress for kind of cold.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Not 20 degrees though.
It's an hour earlier than usual.
Yeah. See, what's the weather, but much simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one word, please.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the stack.
Hey,
Folks, we're going to move on to our next section, which
Folks.
is my favorite section because you all make it up. It's your audience questions.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come out to you. You ask a question. You get some free stuff. You get some free stuff. Kevin over here saw you first. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Kevin.
Hey, watch it,
Kevin!
Alex. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Now, since we're at the beginning of 2020,
Oh, here we go.
rather than asking you to, give us, what you're really looking forward to, let's take some time to speculate on something you think will happen this year. Just what is something you would like to see that hasn't necessarily been announced?
Oh, that's good. I think
okay,
Alex is
Trump loses the election.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
just about politics stuff?
That's good. It's going to be crazy when Marvel
you didn't
announces
specify,
that.
but I think, yeah, it's got to be comic
Marvel
book related.
Disney buys the presidency.
smokes.
Very sort of
Hey, which
interesting.
Disney character do you want to be president?
That's a great question.
Moana.
Wow.
Excuse.
I mean,
I don't know. That was literally the first person.
Yeah. I
she
can
actually
tell.
is good. Her show could be
Yeah.
at the top of the stack of other presidents' heads or whatever.
Wait, what?
I've seen Moana truly hundreds of times.
Stack?
She stacks at the end of the movie, stacks a seashell on every leader of the island. Stacks
Oh, okay,
their
right.
rock on
I
the
thought you
island.
were, for some reason, talking about like the sub-subs, the Disney sub-subs that all stack on each other.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, what are sums?
Some Alex
Sometimes
is
they're
into
like
some
the
weird
two-
dark web Disney shit. You don't want to get in on
That's
that.
real fucked up.
It's
Sounds
a little
racist.
fucked up, yeah.
Fucked up. I shouldn't talk about it in public.
Yeah. I don't know.
But if any of you listening want to sell some sum-sums, just
yeah,
you know what I mean.
definitely reach Alex on his dark web internet site.
Dark Alex at Dark Alex.
Yeah, very.
No extension.
Yeah, exactly. That's how fucked up it is. There's no way to contact him. Wait, what are we looking forward to, or which Disney person? Do we
What do we think is going to happen? What do we think?
I think we were
Speculate.
asking which
Speculation.
Disney princess would you be if you were a Disney princess?
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I'd say Moana.
Yeah, we know
know
your
that. We
answer.
know,
Jeez.
jeez.
I was watching
shit.
Sleeping Beauty recently, and that movie is good. I watch every Disney movie because I have children, and my older daughter's right at the age where she's like, I want to watch Aristocats now. And I'm like, okay.
Aristocats on demand.
Here's a
What's
funny
great
story for
is
you.
I could see her because it's like
What?
it's still kind of you, and she would just
That's
be
what
like,
children are.
Yeah, the funny part about that is that also describes Pete.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say I'm raising a tiny female Pete. I'm raising my daughter Pete.
I don't recommend that.
No.
Comic book stuff coming up in 2020, either for comic book industry or TV or movies or anything like that. What are your predictions? What do you want to see?
Well, I've heard some rumors that Punisher's coming back to television, so I would love if that actually happened.
Nice.
Do you want, in that case, a reboot, or do you want John Bernthal back? Do you want a continuation of the series, a fresh series? What do you want to see?
I want John Bernthal, and I want a continuation, yeah. I got an applause break.
That's nice. I think that was more for John Bernthal.
Yeah, it's probably, yeah, it's true.
Or the Punisher in general.
How do you think? Can I ask you? How do you think it's going to come back? Because the Punisher's, it's a tough sell. Of hey, TV show about guy shooting everyone that's not him. But it's like. So how do you think it's going to come back?
I don't know.
No more
Carefully?
guns. Carefully.
Just like maybe don't tell a bunch of people, just have it streaming and available and just be like, oh, look what happened.
Wait, what?
And just,
You want it to be something that no one talks
Like a real
about.
secret, like a real good secret.
yeah. And that way,
So maybe you should look to Thomas Jane to release some random videos of him being the
Do you
Punisher.
know it would be fucking hilarious if John Bernthal released a short film called Dirty Laundry? That would be
Dirty Laundry 2.
Dirty Laundry 2.
No,
It's
it's a remake of the Dirty Laundry.
I think they call it a repaving.
Yeah.
Just pay over. It's like Dirty
Exactly.
Laundry. That was me the entire time.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Great. I sort of want. I know this is maybe. I want some DC movies to work. I want to see. I want those characters to figure it out a little bit more than we had. Obviously, Joker just got 11 Oscar nominations. I don't mean that. Specifically, I want the actual superhero side of the universe to start working a little bit better in
I would
some
like to
capacity.
do a Wonder Woman movie that gets like 11 Oscar nods.
I root for all of the DC movies, and most of them I've not liked so far. But I feel like I'm going into them at this point. The two that they've shown off stuff from that are coming this year, Birds of Prey, looks bonkers. I worry that it's going to be an absolute mess, but I want it to be good because Margot Robbie is so fun as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And I want it to be something that's like, it looks like a mess, it feels like a mess, but it coheres anyway. And then you have Wonder Woman 1984, where there were all of these rumors coming out being like, ooh, this is a mess as well.
What?
But the trailer looks great.
Yeah.
And again, like I want.
What
I want
rumors are
them
you
to be good.
hearing?
What?
What rumors?
What rumors are you hearing about John Bernthal coming back to TV as the Punisher? Where are you sourcing that from?
Okay, journalists, let's not check our sources here.
I'm just saying I haven't heard any rumors that Wonder Woman's a mess.
That was before the trailer came out. Actually, there were a couple of rumors that came. I'll send you some articles.
Yeah, please do.
After the show. You know what? I'll clip them out for you.
Oh, great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
He prefers tiny wadded up pieces of paper for his news source. It's great. Yeah, I heard some rumors
My point
too.
being,
you
heard rumors.
Yeah, you just say an opinion and you say a rumor in front of it. That's all.
Langston just goes,
yes. My point being, like, I would love for them to be good. I think that would be great. I worry about them because they haven't had a consistent track record, but that would be awesome.
I just feel like it's always fun to be like, yeah, DC movies suck, and it's like we don't want them to be better. Like, let's make them better. Let's have a hope. Let's hope they're better.
It's frustrating because they could be very good very easily. It seems like every time those properties come out, it's like there is some other caveat they put on top, but it's like, all right, that sounds good. That's dope. Guess what? They're in space. And it's like, no, come on. I just wanted a normal Batman movie. For me, what I want, talking about the distinguished competition as they are called, I need a Superman, like a fix. Like I need someone in that office to go, hey, idiots,
in the comic book world,
in every world, because I feel like there's an imbalance. I'm like, you got the big two, right? The world's finest, Batman, Superman. I'm like, great, Batman, A-OK. Like, we know who that is, and we're going to see every aspect of that universe explored. But for me, I've always loved the science fiction aspect of Superman, like the idea of like if a character is never in mortal danger, you can only tell moral tales. Because guess what? Big Blue, he hears the person he can't save miles away, and Batman's like, well, I'm sure someone else didn't make it, but that's not my problem. But like Superman gets to go to the top of the world in space and hear half the population going like, Superman's the best. And a bunch of people going like, yo, fuck Superman. And then he's like, I'm still going to stop that tornado from tearing down your home, awful human being. So it's like, there's so many more stories from, in my opinion, to tell with that character that can be very cool. And also, I just want a Lex Luthor anything that's not that.
What was that?
No, Michael Rosenbaum, bring it back, yeah. Or, I mean,
Well, what do you
anyone.
think?
Jesse Eisenberg, yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to ask because this news came out earlier today. They picked up Superman and Lois to the CW. The actors who are playing them right now on the various CW shows. They're going to have an ongoing series. The concept of it is they had a kid, so it's going to, in continuity, everybody kind of assumes the kid is going to grow up and be older and be John, but it's about them being parents and balancing their careers and raising their kid at the same time.
So when I said they always add a caveat that you go like, all right, this is going great. Wait, what? It's like, I don't mind another Lois and Clark. I mean, it's not Dean Cain, but it's like, you know, I mean, fine. But again, like that's cool. Another Lois and Clark show, great. Show me Superman coming home and go, babe, you're not going to believe this. I had to go to space, right? So me and the Green Lanterns are all hanging. You know the Green. Do you know the Green Lanterns? Yes, I do. Like that's what I want. But then it's like we have a kid. It's like it raises so many questions. Like
Yeah, he hates kids.
oh yeah, I mean just
You mean
Langston
You mean
or
Langston or
Superman?
Superman?
Langston.
Oh.
I
It'd be crazy if Superman had a kid and hated him.
Just
I love
flies.
the entire world except this fucking kid.
Cries too much, keeps me up. Everybody else fine.
I hate this
Loud,
kid.
very loud. This baby.
Sorry I couldn't save you, Mr. President, from that
hate my
laser gun.
kid.
I was up all fucking night with this child.
Barney Kent.
Bottle feeding it. Did you like in the comics the Clark Kent identity reveal?
I did. I actually did because I
Yeah.
feel like again I'm always for tenants being torn down and things that have been like forever. Like eventually, yeah, someone's gonna figure it out. Like the secret identity is fun and it's kind of a cool like Silver Age like. Where's Clark Kent? It's like I was just in the bathroom. And you're like, it's like that's fun, and that was fun for a while. But I love the idea of like everyone like finding out like, hey, the most powerful person on the planet has been this person you've known, and like, what's the fallout? I think again, it's another interesting story. Like, what happens when you found out
He would
you
get
knew
fired.
Superman?
Is the fallout? He would get fired as a reporter.
Oh, absolutely. That's the fun thing. I really want to be
Yes.
like, so, Chief, what do you think? Get out of my office, Kent. Like,
Yeah.
and he goes, oh, what? Get out.
And if anybody knows journalistic integrity and quoting your sources, it's Pete LePage.
That's right. I have never, not once, claimed to be a journalist, you asshole. So
You've not once claimed to be a
Yeah,
journalist.
that's right. Not even once.
Never, not
Yeah,
once.
you
Never, and then
you
not
use a
once.
double.
You got him. You got him.
Got him.
This is why. You're
I'm
the
his
best.
editor, so I know how to get him.
Great. I think we have time for only one more question. At this
Oh,
point.
man, we
you,
took too
sir,
long.
Right there. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi.
Hey.
To those of you who don't know me, my name is Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
And I was wondering, so we got on this tangent about DC. It seems like Green Lantern has now turned into the last frontier, the last almost like a Gordian knot or like a nerve, like don't touch him. It seems to me like that's the last thing. If they can make Green Lantern work, everything else works. Do you agree or do you think it's possible?
You're talking about in the movies and TV with Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? Can they make Green Lantern work?
Yeah,
I think the issue is Green Lantern works in too many different mediums. Like I would love a like procedural Green Lantern show. I would love an awesome Green Lantern film franchise. I would love a great Green Lantern video game. Like I would love Green Lantern. Like there's so many stories and so many characters under this one banner. I think it works too well, and I think, like you said, it's protected because they're like, if we can get this right, like this is kind of like it's a gift. Like you kind of don't have to make anything different. It's a bunch of awesome space cops that can make anything they want out of their minds. Like that's pretty fun on its own.
But I think that's why a lot of like TV and movies have a hard time getting around it. Green Lantern, I think, is built specifically for comic books because it's all about like we can draw whatever we want and we draw it and then it's a still image and we move on. When you're doing TV and movies, it has to be like That's why the movie feels, it's like, whoa, it looks super cartoony, so it's hard to take everything seriously, and it just never really amounts to a thing we can all get behind. Because it can be anything, the choices then start to be weird. It's like he made a punching glove, boxing glove. That was a weird choice. So it's hard to be like gritty. It's hard to nail the genre, I think, because of the expansiveness of the power set. And I don't know what the solution is.
You got to start with having an editor who watches the whole movie, because that movie was so chopped up and such a piece of shit that it didn't matter.
You think the editor didn't watch the whole movie?
Yeah, that's
Start clipping things with their actual scissors.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, okay. Can I just throw out a pitch that I think would work for the comics?
Please.
I think the Kyle Rayner story is the pitch for a Green Lantern movie, or more specifically, a TV show. Like, Green Lanterns are dead. Last Guardian comes to Earth and is like, please, all of the Green Lanterns are dead. You're the last Green Lantern. Here's a ring. Dies. And he's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is or what's going on. The ring slowly teaches him, and he learns over the course of episodes. He doesn't have all the space stuff. He doesn't have all the Guardians. He doesn't have all the crazy creatures. Maybe he gets them down the road, but you just keep the budget slightly lower that way, because everything's on Earth. You can still work in the villain characters and build it up that way. Kyle's a great character, too.
Yeah.
Who voices the ring?
Who voices the ring?
Who voices the
J.K.
ring?
Simmons.
Wow. British or like just regular? Hey,
Yeah, just regular.
don't make boxing gloves anymore.
Yeah.
That was J. Jonah Jameson. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the pitch. I mean, one of the problems, to your point about the Cordy or Not, that they're doing right now, which is insane to me, is so they've been announcing 1 million HBO Max shows. HBO Max is launching in April, I think, or May, something like that.
Yes, I think so.
One of the two. And they were like, hey, at our big presentation, we're announcing our DC shows. We're going to do an anthology show called Strange Adventures. Check this out. It's going to have all these different episodes. It's going to explore different aspects of the DC universe, produced by Greg Berlanti, that produces all the CW shows and millions of other shows. So he knows what he's doing. And he's like, and also, we're going to be doing Green Lantern Corps. Details TBD. And I was like, why did you announce that? And then a month or two later, they were like, hey, great news. We've decided to do a Green Lantern movie that we're developing at Warner Brothers. This is separate from the HBO Max series that is also being developed. And it's like, to the point that we've been talking about, just choose something. Like, choose one thing and go with it. And
why do you think no one understands, like, the nerd machine that starts when you make a half announcement? It's like, we're giving you Green Lantern Corps. Car drives off, and it's like, like, is every episode going to be one different Green Lantern? Which is, in my brain, what I would love. I would love every episode, like, here's this wacky Green Lantern elsewhere, like, dealing with, like, this weird, like, you can do any episode, like, in my brain, it should be like The Mandalorian. Like, every episode is like this kind of, it could be a part of a grand story, but you could watch any singular episode and you're like, oh, that was a really cool short story. But then, like you said, like, it could be a great, but also them not, I mean, I'm like, I never understand how not connecting everything makes sense. It's like you have to do jump through so many hurdles to make this, and you're kind of like dividing your fan base.
Well,
Well,
also,
I think that's the difference between DC and Marvel is they don't have that in mind. They're just like, what can we do to activate people's interest in the short term? And that's what they keep doing,
right,
and not activating it in the long term, which I think Kevin Feige and Marvel are so good at being like, no, let's have a little patience and confidence and be able to just really run this gamut.
I will say, though, this is also a greater problem with HBO Max stuff, because they're just like, I don't know, here's 100 fucking properties. There's nobody attached to it whatsoever. We're just running with it.
It is funny. I feel like there's someone named Max in HBO office who's like a kid, and they walk in like, here's a couple shows we're thinking of doing. He's like, all of them, let's do this. And that's HBO Max.
Yeah.
And he's crazy.
Yes, he is. So we'll see what happens with that. Thank you for your audience questions. We're going to move on with our next section, which is trivia. And for that, we're going to turn over to Pete LePage.
All right.
Page.
This is the part we give back to the lovely audience. It's an opportunity to win $25 free in the form of a gift card to Midtown Comics. Who would like $25 free? Simple raising of the hand. Simple raising of the hand. Yes, you do. New guy, come on down.
Come on,
new
guy.
guy.
Come on. What is your name, sir?
Hi, my name is Paul.
Paul, audience Paul.
Welcome, Paul.
All right, Paul, how this is going to work is I'm going to read you a question, listen to all three possible answers, get all three questions right, $25 yours. Today's trivia is on topical comic and film news.
Okay, there's a twist. We got topical film news.
All right, so question number one. Who is teaming up with Chris...
Alex just had a question real quick. Is it about The Irishman?
No.
A topical film?
If it is, I'll have to sit.
You haven't seen it?
No, I'll have to sit down.
You have to sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick question. Is it about the Joker?
No.
Okay.
Is it about the farewell being snubbed at the Oscars?
No. And shut the fuck up. All right, here we go. Question number one. Who is teaming up with Chris Samney on a new book from Image called Firepower? Is it A, Robert Kirkman, B, Brian Michael Bendis, or C, Elijah Wood? So it's either A or you could be incorrect.
I'll say A.
A is correct. Robert Kirkman.
Excellent.
We're excited about this. Kirkman and Samney together. That should be fun. Here we go. Question number two. Because of the Black Widow movie, what character is giving their own starting title in April? Is it A, white versions of costumes number one?
Excuse me?
Wow.
Because, Black Widow had that, and then she had the white costume, and it was pretty cool.
Interesting take.
B, Taskmaster number one, or C, Hugo Weaving number one. So it's either A, which sounds racist when you read it out loud, or you could say B and win.
B.
The B is
Great
correct.
job.
Taskmaster.
I will say I would
Getting
like
its own series.
I would like to read a comic called Hugo, Weaving number one.
Yeah.
Just see what he makes.
Just see what happens.
What does he weave?
What's he weave? Question number three.
What's he weave?
Question number three. What X book is relaunching this April? Is it A, X Factor, B, X Babies, or is it C, Hugh Jackman? So it's either A or you could pick B.
A.
A is correct. $25. Congratulations, Paul.
Great job. Star of trivia, leaving the trivia stage and returning to his chair, which is very close to mine.
What was the film news, Pete?
It's Elijah Wood, Hugo.
No. You said you were covering topical film news.
Yeah, Black Widow. I talked about the Black Widow movie inspiring Taskmaster getting its own.
Okay, all right.
So it's topical
Movie
All
question.
right, so Pete's third answer is always hint at some sort of movie, some Robin Williams movie. We've been doing this for 14 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
It's always a Robin Williams movie. When we sat down, this is a funny story, actually. I used to be artistic director of this theater here at the Pin.
here we go.
And I saw Pete come in with a Laserdisc version of What Dreams May Come. And I was like, do you want to do a show together? And then the next day...
I will say, Alex, that's on you.
Justin walked in with a VHS of Jumanji, the first one, not the one with the rock. I was like, you want to do a show?
The real Jumanji. The good one. The board game.
And we were sitting down and talking about it. We were like, it eventually morphed into a comic book talk show, but we were like, we got to pay tribute to the man Robin Williams in some way.
Yeah, that's right.
Every
You're
week on this
goddamn
show.
right.
He did
and
bring
Pete
us
was like,
together.
what if I bizarrely made the third answers of my trivia about Robin Williams? And I was like, bro, you're on
We were like,
something
that's a
there.
great idea. Wait 13 years and then do it.
And then start doing this fucking insane bit.
Yeah.
Elijah
Once the audience is
Wood-
on our side, then you can be super weird.
Hey, at least you didn't hold on to a secret quiz for a couple of years that nobody brought up.
That's something you did.
Elijah Wood, Hugo Weaving, and
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, two Australians, and a guy who acted in New Zealand a bunch.
Why are you trying to take down actors?
I'm
Like
trying
what?
to figure it out, buddy.
Alex
Kevin,
is
you
adding
got
some
this one?
context.
Do you want a hint, Kevin?
Let him guess
I'm
first.
going to guess, even though I haven't seen the movie, I'm going to guess Happy Feet.
You are correct, sir.
Hey.
Kevin, killing the game.
Wow.
Happy Feet. Robin Williams' favorite film project, Happy Feet.
Do you remember when he died and they posted all those stills from Happy Feet to pay tribute to him?
Oh, what a
Fuck
what a beautiful in memoriam.
Wow.
You're a piece of shit.
We got to see all of his happiest feet.
Yes.
man.
I went too far there. All right.
Wow.
As we all know, tomorrow
think
is
that's
New
a
Comic
first.
Book Day. We recommend you go to Midtown Comics because they've been nice enough to sponsor the show. Pete, what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Ghosted in L.A. #7, and because he asked, Venom the End #1.
Hey, real quick question. When did I ask for that?
You earlier in the show, you were like, "Hey, man, make sure you. I want to know 2 that you're looking forward to."
Oh, good. Yeah, let's rewind the tape real quick and get that back. Great.
Anything you want to say about those books, Pete?
They're good books. You should check them out.
Great.
What
Ghost in
more can
L.A. is the title for Boob Studios. It is about a girl who befriends a bunch of ghosts living in an apartment complex together, and she deals with dating at the same time. Super fun. Venom the End is part of the End series of one-shots that's running at Marvel right now that show the end of those Marvel characters. So presumably Venom finally hangs up his buddy,
Wow.
Eddie Brock.
Oh my God.
Wow. What a weird way to say
Yeah,
that.
that was really
Eddie
weird.
Brock backwards, his spine broken in a trash can.
Oh, gross. Yeah. Venom
Symbiote
Noir.
walking away.
That's a great
It
cover.
was weird because when you pictured like hanging up, I was like, Venom like came home and like ripped Eddie
you
Brock
think-
off
Me
of
too.
him and like hung him up like a jacket.
Do you think when Eddie Brock comes home, he takes off the Venom costume like, long day?
Long day.
And he's
No,
like,
it would just like turn to boxers because it'd be any like clothing he wants. So he could just be like in like a bathrobe.
and he's wear the same symbiote to bed?
Does he have more than one symbiote that he can
I would
wear?
think I would wear a different part on the inside. You know how some people flip their boxers around because they're like, now they're
I'm
clean
sorry.
again.
Some people flip their what's a what.
People do this. No, I'm not. I don't do this.
How many?
I've heard people say like, "Oh, I just flip my boxers over." Like that doesn't make it clean.
Nobody
The
says
outside
that.
is dirty too.
Nobody
Worse.
says that.
That's insane.
That is a thing I've heard people say.
No way.
Okay.
That's something
Tweet
that
if you want to see a fist fight between Pete LePage and Nat Townsend.
Townsend.
And also if you turn your boxers inside out
I'm
to
telling
read
you.
comic books.
I'm just, my
To
point
read
is,
comic books?
To read comic books specifically.
Well, that comic book reading time to take my boxers inside out.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Listen, if
Gotta
you,
feel nice and fresh.
I need the cool side of the pillow.
exactly.
Cool.
I'm just saying that symbiote's dirty at the end of a long day.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be. Imagine
That
it's so
symbiote is hugging his balls.
Yeah.
Holy, you're absolutely right.
Again, did I
actually-
go too far there?
And I actually don't know because then you would see it's not like a form fitting. I think it just covers.
That's true. There aren't a lot of Venom comics where you see a dangling scrotum.
Yeah, I think Venom's like, hey man, I'm your symbiote, I'll do whatever, but I'm not gonna cup your balls all day.
Right. That's coming up, though, I think. After the Venom Island arc, but before Null gets to Earth, there's the arc called Ball Cuppas.
Yeah, ball cuppers.
I was to go for 24 hours.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you this: does the symbiote sweat? Because that's gross. It's sweat on sweat.
Yeah.
Is it sweating on him on the inside? Oh, man.
And that, of course, it's sweating. And that's where the
What has
contact is.
happened? Fucking plug a comic and let's move on.
We're investing.
Jesus Christ.
You plugged Venom the End, and we're dealing with it.
Yeah.
We're getting to the bottom.
Have you read the issue yet? Because this is what happens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I
he
haven't.
finally comes to terms with how
Eddie Brock's like,
gross.
stop hugging my balls. And Symbiote's like, I'm sorry, I got to go take a shower.
Yeah, I have more questions. Where does the symbiote end and Eddie Brock begin?
Great. How many comics you want to plug?
I'm looking forward to Undiscovered Country #3 from Image Comics.
It's funny you say that.
Written by Scott Snyder and Charles Soule. It is a wild comic about how America has been walled off, and it's going. The first 2 issues were wild. I'm looking forward to see how much crazier it gets. What's the matter?
You know, it's funny you say that.
Really?
Because we actually review that in our Stack podcast.
Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. Wednesday at 9 a.m.
the Stack comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Oh,
in the Comic
fuck.
Book Club feed.
That's
also
going to be
in
fun.
its own Stack feed.
I look forward to hearing my opinion on that.
Me too. Another one from
I
that
don't.
podcast, Steeple #5 from Dark Horse Comics.
Yeah.
This is a fun supernatural hangout, is I guess what I call it.
Wow.
Okay.
Where it's about a woman comes to work at a church, finds out that the church is besieged by supernatural creatures. But most of it is like people just kind of living in this town and chilling out and being like, oh, another merman in this town. Let's kick them out of here.
Yeah.
Very fun, very great book. Langston, plug your stuff. What should people be checking out?
Yes. Head to Marvel.com and Marvel's YouTube channel and check out Earth's Mightiest Show, as well as all the other awesome content we're putting out on there between myself and Lorraine Sink and Ryan Penagos, a.k.a. Agent M. I feel like I have to say that every time. And Josh Lane, Angelique Rocher. It's a really cool crew just talking about all the Marvel stuff you love, and hopefully you enjoy it. Also, I'm also looking forward to Venom: The End, just to see if any of us were right. If any of us are right about it.
What if we all are? Couple of things I want to plug before we go.
You know what? Take this moment, Alex. This is your time.
Thanks so much. Check out my line of ball hugging boxers.
Those are called boxers. What's different about yours? Is it a tighter hug?
There's like an extra
hug.
Yeah. There's a small man.
It tapers in.
There's a
Thigh
hand.
up, it tapers in.
That's our slogan. It tapers in.
It tapers in.
It tapers.
Salbins.
The dead speak. It tapers in.
That's going to get a Rise of Skywalker out of me. Don't
That's what I got. Here we go. I just wanted a high
That's
five
a great
for my
Academy
friend.
Awards joke. That's a great Academy Awards joke. Oh, perfect.
We do a couple of other podcasts. We're doing a Lock and Key Unlocked right now. We're recapping every volume of the series leading into the Netflix show, which launches on February 7th. We're going to have a bunch of fun stuff coming up, so please be sure to subscribe to that.
Really fun right up until the point where Zalvin shows up in the comic.
I mean, then it gets real fun.
No.
So definitely subscribe to that. Also, Riverdale After Dark, our Riverdale podcast, is going to be back very soon, so subscribe and check that out in its own feed as well. Patreon.com/Comic Book Club if you want to support this show. Bunch of fun bonuses. We have a monthly movie night. We have a Slack you can hang out in. You can get some swag and other things. What's going on? Oh, you can get socks.
No, I'm pointing at you. Alex's face is on my sock, and it's funny to point at this face and hear you talking.
You can sort of like take the mouth and be like, I'm talking right now. I don't know why I did that. That I could just use my voice.
Yeah.
Nah. I'll handle this.
Are you done talking, or are you going to finish your fucking shit?
I don't remember what I say at this point. Pete, go ahead.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for coming out. Give it up for Langston. Langston Belton on the show. Give it up for Boothman.
Boothman.
Yeah. We love you. 7 o'clock. New time.
Pete.
New way to end it. Woo!
iTunes, Android, Spotify, Stitcher, or the app of your choice.
The app
Please
of your
subscribe
choice.
to comicbookclublive.com, facebook.com/comicbookclublive, which is Pete's fucking thing that he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
At Comic Book Live.
Oh, my God.
Oh, sorry. Was that when I do that? Yeah. Was that when I do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just wait for a gap.
No, you at the show as well.
That's right. And I'd like to really call out how Pete is now the star of the end of the show as well. Taking over with that star power. 2020, the year we finally get it right.
Thanks, everybody. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming out.